Alright, today we're going to look at the Weevil, which is a unit from the corncobs update which I hadn't purchased once on the live server. I checked my stats recently and it was right at the bottom of the list. I think I did buy it a couple of times during the test phase, but obviously I've never used it since it came out. So we're going to remedy that today. And its ability is pretty simple. Whenever a pet eats food, it gives +1 attack temporarily. And you can see that happening in the battle here. The budgies are going to gain popcorn, and gaining a perk counts as eating or being fed. So they end up getting the temporary attack from the Weevil, and that's going to help us win. Now, the Weevil doesn't work indefinitely. It has a limited number of triggers. And so my first thought was to try and do a reset. So either using blobfish or ideally flounder, since it's another one of the feeding pets. The plan was to use the Weevil's ability a bunch of times in the shop to expend all the triggers, and then in battle it was going to be reset and we'd get a bunch of extra attack. And I had thought about having maybe something like a rooster, so the temporary attack gets funneled into the rooster, and then after the reset we get even more. However, in practice it was proving to be quite awkward. I mean, reset builds can be pretty awkward in general, but the Weevil's ability, while it is solid for a tier 1, it's not really good enough where it's going to be able to carry you even if you manage to get everything set up. Now that's not to say I've given up completely on that idea, maybe we'll try it again in the future. But this run that we're looking at now was an accidental run while I was trying to record this reset build. So we'll take the betta fish, and I think I'm actually going to take it and pill it immediately. As soon as I take orangutan, my first thought is to sell everything to make sure that the buffs go on to the units that I want. And we're going to take the tabby cat. Now, tabby cat used to have an ability that was quite similar to the Weevil. Anytime you ate food, it would give extra stats. However, it doesn't work that way anymore. You only get it when it's a perk. But the budgie is gaining a perk, so the tabby cat is going to activate for now. And the way we can actually guarantee it going forward is to buy this radish. So radish is I think it's a custom only perk. It might have been in Star Pack on the test server at one stage, but essentially it causes your pet to gain a random perk from the pet's tier at start of battle. So that means we can guarantee the tabby cat's going to go off every single battle because the radish is going to activate. So you can see it here. The Weevil gains strawberry, so it can only gain perks from tier 1. And I think it's going to help us win here. Yes, it is. So if we put a radish on a higher tier pet, we are going to get better quality perks. But with this update, there's actually quite a lot you can do with some of the lower tier perks. And for now, we're going to take a gingerbread, not least because it's going to activate both the Weevil and the tabby cat. And I think at this stage, I'm contemplating selling the budgie because it will be next in line after the orangutans to receive the health buffs. And I'd rather that not happen. There are some later game units that I think I was interested in, and I hadn't yet realised how this run was going to pan out. But we end up winning here, even though they managed to counter our summons. So there's a level up on the tabby, which I think I will take. Maybe I'm going to combine the orangutans. I don't know if I had lollipop in this pack or not, but we're going to take the magic lamp, which gives us a tiny amount of extra stats, onto the tabby cat. Feed the Weevil. It does work on itself, so you can see it gains an additional 2 attack there. Now I think I'm contemplating the bad dog here. We do have a reasonable amount of health, and we're only going to keep gaining more health because of the orangutan. I think maybe the fact that I only have 3 units probably means that I shouldn't be taking bad dog just yet. But the fact that we're playing 3 means we can guarantee that all the units that we want to keep are going to be the ones to gain the health. Now there are a lot of people playing the Olm. I think it was in the video the other day. It does result in a tie here. Yeah, it definitely seems a little bit suspect for a tier 2. But maybe it's just early days, and we'll find out that it's not quite as strong as it seems. So we end up getting a nice level up there on the orangutan. So now we're getting +6 health per turn. And with the Weevil activating the radish, it means we are gaining attack and health as well. Now this is a pretty strong looking team with a level 2 mole, and they end up getting 2 resummons. But the sheer amount of health on the orangutan at the back means we still end up winning. So I can buy sell the Venus flytrap to activate level 3 orangutan. And then we end up getting the terror bird. And here I had an idea and I thought this could be quite fun with radish. So we know that the Weevil is guaranteed to get a tier 1 perk. Now I think there are only 4. There's egg, strawberry, honey, and blueberry I think is the other one. So if the Weevil gains strawberry, which is a 1 in 4, then the terror bird, which is a new pet that gives peanut to a pet with strawberry, will give the Weevil peanut, and our team would suddenly become a little bit more scary. The terror bird does have terrible starting health, but the orangutan is going to fix that in one go. And look at this, we immediately get peanut. I don't think it actually made any difference here. We were going to knock out those units anyway. But it is fun seeing the combo in action, even if it was such a low chance to get it. So I think I'm going to buy sell the bad dog here. We have built up a decent amount of health, and our team could do with a bit more disruption. If we do end up getting peanut on the Weevil, the bad dog can actually remove, or at least the great one can remove the any equipment on the front unit and make sure that the peanut does knock something out. But in order for that to happen, we actually have to rearrange, and I didn't realize it here. We would have to move everything back 1 space. In this time we end up getting egg anyway, although it's a very weak looking team. They do have beluga at the back, but it's just a slug. So that puts us on 8. And I think I'm going to start buying radishes now, because I wouldn't mind having a full team of radishes. We might as well go for these challenges when they present themselves. I think on 8 wins it is kind of unlikely to be able to find 3 radishes, although we do get another one here. And then also find another unit to put it on. And here again, I don't realize that I should be moving the Weevil back to make sure that the great one spawns immediately. We do end up getting strawberry again though. However, I think for a second time it doesn't actually make any difference, because we were going to knock out those units regardless. It's still nice to see the RNG working in our favor though. So the great one expires, and now I think we're just going to rebuy the evil book. Probably I could just buy the cat here and the sushi, but instead I'm just going to keep the squad I've got. The Weevil triggers are exhausted, but we don't have our reset build that we were intending on. However, we are on a perfect game. And it gives me this vulture summon opponent, so again we get the strawberry into peanut, which does absolutely nothing. However, the great one makes a real mess of their low-statted summon squad. And yeah, the peanut's going to run out before the retriever comes in. But we ended up getting a mushroom from the radish, and that wastes the vulture snipe. And so we complete the perfect game in customs with a 4 squad with the Weevil. Pretty unlikely outcome there, I think, but yeah, that was a really fun game to play. And then we're going to take a look at this one, a bit more conventional looking team. Axolotl, I think, has ascended to being top tier status in customs now, partly because of the radish. And you can see here I've got 4 radishes, and it's just the axolotl with the gingerbread for now. So I think I was intending on going for the 4 radish squad here, but you can see how many activations we get from the tabby cat. And then we're also getting permanent scaling from axolotl, so plus 3/3 for each radish, and then we also get plus 3/3 for each of the pets that receives the strawberry from the hummingbird. Now, quite a while ago I did see someone else running this team, and I was quite shocked at the sheer amount of stats it was able to gain in 1 turn. Of course you can do a lot better than this. You can have a toy that will give a perk as well, and then you can also have turtle or tar or a snapping turtle to give another perk. So when you have a level 3 axolotl, and oftentimes you'll see people running multiples, you can quite easily be gaining stats 3 or 4 times in one turn using this method, because the radish is before battle, so it's guaranteed to go off. And that prevents it interacting with the hummingbird. We don't want it overwriting the strawberry. So we're going to gain 2 perks guaranteed, and the axolotl is going to give plus 6/6 to itself and the tabby cat, and then we get a bunch of extra buffs on the other units. Now, much like the last build, we can actually get a benefit from the radish randomly giving the Weevil strawberry, because we've got the puffin. So there are quite a few different variations you could do with this, even if it's not going to be very consistent. And we end up beating the opposing strawberry squad with the Shima and Aga there. So I do get a level 3 axolotl, which opens the door for finding the last radish and getting the full perk team. But unfortunately, we don't manage to find it. We are on 4 hearts, so if we lose or tie, we do still have a chance. And although we have a lot of low tier units, we have extremely premium scaling from the axolotl here. As you can see, just a huge amount of stats at start of battle, and there's lots of tempo stats there as well from the tabby cat. Very big opposing team, quite a funny build with the Quetzalcoatlus at the front that had seaweed. But again, the puffin is the sole survivor, and we take the win for the level 3 Weevil achievement. Would have been nice to have all radishes as well, but we'll keep that for a future video.